People living in one Cabarrus County neighborhood have been stuck with a slow, annoying, and damaging leak for years.
Yeah, but calls to their water provider and the North Carolina Utilities Commission haven't gotten them any results. WBTV investigative reporter David Hodges started digging into why the system wasn't working for them.
Since Christmas 2019, Eric Olson has had this persistently annoying leak from the water meter in front of his house.
I called him back, I must have called him a dozen times.
Olson isn't the only one in this Harrisburg community stuck with this problem.
I've had the same problem. It started many years ago.
Troy Bunch has also rigged up this nifty PVC contraption to keep the leak from damaging his yard and driveway. After many calls, it's clear who's supposed to fix the issue. The problem is getting them to pick up.
Didn't get anybody on the phone live, because you can't. You call Water Resources and there's never anybody picking up the phone. Water
Resources, Inc. provides well water to this community and one other in the area. It's a small operation, but that doesn't absolve them from providing the necessary upkeep to the communities they serve. Emails provided by Olson show the company owner, Dennis Abbott, promising to fix the issue, but they never have. So we started calling.
First Service Residential, and I am away from my desk.
We got a voicemail for First Service Residential, another company owned by Abbott, but no response. So we went to the company headquarters in Charlotte. But there, we couldn't find any sign of Water Resources, only First Service, and no people.
I don't know, it's like a ghost company.
Frustrated with the lack of response, Olson started reaching out to the North Carolina Utilities Commission, which regulates companies like Water Resources. After a lot of back and forth, he eventually filed a formal complaint against Water Resources. The Utilities Commission gave them 10 days to respond.
Please respond within 10 days or request an extension. Well, like a month goes by, and I don't hear anything.
Several months passed before the Utilities Commission finally scheduled a hearing with Water Resources. We reached out to the Utilities Commission to ask why they didn't schedule a hearing right away since the company wouldn't respond. A spokesperson refused to go on camera, but told WBTV they were trying to work with the company to give them more time before they eventually felt compelled to schedule the hearing. Olson says he's frustrated with both Water Resources and the Utilities Commission for failing to fix the leak or hold the company responsible accountable. Utilities Commission records obtained by WBTV note Water Resources' record of poor customer service. The same document also reveals that Water Resources claims it doesn't have enough money to replace these old meters.
It's something that they should be responsible for. It's broken, so it's a very simple solution. Just fix it.
In Harrisburg, David Hodges, WBTV, on your side.
David will follow to see if they do. If you are having an issue with a utility company and want to file a complaint, just go to our website, WBTV.com, and look for David's story.
Two Cabarrus County communities are fed up with their water provider after a stack of violations and poor customer service.
In May, the WBTV Investigates team spotlighted neighbors left waiting for years to repair simple leaks. And now we've learned there are even bigger issues that threaten the safety of the neighborhood. Investigative reporter David Hodges tells us what and how they feel state regulators aren't doing enough to help.
I first came to this Cabarrus County community about a month ago because of water leaks and meters. I later learned there are even more serious issues, and there's the possibility that this entire community is on the brink of being without water. It started with a leak.
I've had the same problem. It started many years ago.
But we've uncovered a flood of problems.
We've had a lot of issues,
Lenny DeVito contacted me after he saw our first story about Water Resources, Inc. and owner Dennis Abbott, which provides well water to Rocky River and one other community in Cabarrus County. A group of neighbors were fed up that leaks in their meters weren't being fixed.
It's broken, so it's a very simple solution. Just fix it.
But DeVito has been stuck with issues like this for years.
You actually get mud coming through these pipes that comes out in your toilets, into your water heater, into your shower. In the summer, we've had issues where that one well will go out. It runs out of water.
But there's an even bigger concern. Records from the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality show that in August of 2019, one of Water Resources' two wells had unacceptable levels of radium contaminants, and the well had to be taken offline. To stay in compliance with state regulations, Water Resources was required to hook up to another water source, but still hasn't for more than a year. DEQ has fined Water Resources $4,500, but Water Resources hasn't paid. Residents in this community are stuck relying on one well.
If that only remaining well goes out, you're going to have about 200 customers without water.
Other records obtained by WBTV show that money might be an issue. A contractor working for Water Resources and Abbott filed a lawsuit against the company for failing to pay him more than $4,000. The lawsuit also contained records of 3 other violations and issues with DEQ, including failing to report lead and copper levels to the department. We tried reaching Water Resources by going to their office, but the location only had the name of another company owned by Abbott, First Service Residential. In an email to WBTV, Abbott said that the radium well issue is, quote, not a water quality issue, and we expect to have the issue resolved in the near future. In a letter Abbott sent to the North Carolina Utilities Commission, Abbott said he will establish a separate office for Water Resources and will take other steps to improve the company. He wrote, Water Resources has fallen short of meeting the Commission's reasonable expectations for how a water utility should be run.
Based on what I know, about the company and the way it's operated in the past, I don't have much hope that that's going to be the case.
Eric Olson contacted us about his leaking meter, and since airing our first story, the issue has been fixed. Kind of. I don't see it as a long-term fix. The plumbers that were out here were kind of marveling at how haphazard it was, the way, that it's not even leveled. Both Olson and DeVito are frustrated with Water Resources, but also place responsibility at the feet of the Utilities Commission and Department of Environmental Quality. A lot of my frustration now at this point is with them, because that's what they're there for.
They're not holding him accountable, and that's been the problem over the years.
If you live in one of the subdivisions that Water Resources serves, you can contact us at investigates@wbtv.com. In Cabarrus County, David Hodges, WBTV, on your side.
WBTV investigation into problems with a water utility in Cabarrus County now has the attention of state lawmakers. 2 communities near Harrisburg have been stuck with leaking water meters and other issues that threaten the safety of water they rely on. WBTV investigative reporter David Hodges first revealed these problems in May and has been following closely since. David joins us now. So, David, it seems like this is now getting the attention in Raleigh. So who have you been speaking to?
Yeah, Maureen, residents in these communities have been pressing their state representatives and senators to take a look at these problems. We reached out, and now there appears to be movement on getting these issues fixed. I spoke with State Senator Paul Newton yesterday about the problems with Water Resources, Inc. that his constituents are facing. In May, we reported on several homeowners who had water leaks coming from the meters that hadn't been fully fixed in years. A week ago, we reported on an even bigger issue. One of the 2 wells servicing the community had to be shut down because of radium contaminants, and so far, Water Resources, Inc. has failed to hook up to another water source as required by state law. Both the Department of Environmental Quality and North Carolina Utilities Commission regulate these utilities, but both agencies have been slow to enforce violations until recently. Senator Newton says his office is now asking questions to make sure these things get rectified.
There's no doubt that what's happening with them is unacceptable, and DEQ has a division specifically designed to manage these problems. And why it hasn't been completed, hasn't been managed yet, I don't know, and I'm not intending to throw DEQ under the bus here, because I don't know the details of their decision-making around this, but it's in the right hands now, and my team is working with them to facilitate making sure they have a laser focus on getting this fixed. We've waited long enough, my constituents have waited long enough, so we're expecting to hear good things coming out of DEQ, and if necessary, the Utilities Commission in the very, very near future.
Now, the Department of Environmental Quality has fined Water Resources, Inc. $4,500 for not establishing another water connection. And just yesterday, they sent an injunction request against Water Resources to the Attorney General's office to help collect that fine. We'll continue monitoring the situation and bring you updates as we get them.